Please help me welcome the Miamisburg High School Symphonic Band. Karl King, and we've been studying kind of the different kinds of marches, and the difference between a regular march and a circus march is if you have a circus march, you just have to go way fast. So that's really fun. I told them, I was like, our goal is how fast can we play it and not fall apart, right? So it was a lot of fun. This next, we're going to change it up for you. This next piece is a really, really beautiful piece. It's in two halves. So you'll hear a slow and pretty section, and then you'll hear kind of a rootin' tootin' romp in the second movement. But this is entitled Songs of Old Kentucky, and it's got a whole bunch of tunes, classic folk tunes really that you might know, that maybe you studied in school, but you'll hear John Riley, you'll hear Wayfaring Stranger, Lonesome Scenes of Winter, Sourwood Mountain, Frogwood and Corton, and Loving Him. There's also some other little bonus ones kind of hidden in there. You're just going to have to see how many you can catch. But this piece sort of honors the musical tradition, the Appalachian musical tradition. So you'll hear some all kinds of different, not only tunes sort of that weave in and out of each other, but sort of that mishmash of the Appalachian and Cumberland Mountains. It's just sort of an homage to that musical culture. So please enjoy two movements, Songs of Old Kentucky by Brant. Before we play our last and longest selection for you tonight, there's just a few folks that we always want to thank. We want to thank our school administrators, all of our school personnel, school board, that support our program at such a high level. Again, we say it every concert, but I think it needs to be said. We enjoy such tremendous support from our schools, and I have taught in other districts. Trust me, it is not like this ever. So again, you see a school board member, you see a school administrator, thank them for their support of our program. So they're just absolutely wonderful folks, and the feeling is mutual. They appreciate our program, and we appreciate what they do for us. So give them a hand. Our awesome and amazing band staff, they're all over here. I'm going to list them all off. We have Mr. Federico, Mr. Whitman, Mr. Catablu, Mr. Catablu. We have Mrs. Bennett, we have Mr. Aylward, and give them a hand. One more person that I would like to recognize tonight is Joseph Barnett. He is a student teacher with us from the University of Dayton. He is about to graduate with his bachelor's in music ed. He's already had some job interviews and stuff, but that's his story to tell, not mine. But he's right over there, and he's been helping us out for the last several weeks. So give him a hand. And before our last selection is entitled Empire. And it is a kind of a musical depiction of the architecture of Rome at the height of its power, the ancient Roman Empire. The composer herself writes a little program note that she says when she was writing the piece, she imagined kind of a country peasant from out in the fields that has wandered into the city for the very first time. You're going to hear our little character here marvel at the architecture, get sucked into a debaucherous party or two, He's gonna, at some point, the Roman military is going to go by. You're going to hear them. But just a really, really beautiful, really intriguing programmatic work depicting the Roman Empire. This is Julie Giroux's Empire. And this is kind of been our project piece. This is our one that get sort of aimed at getting our students that are going to be sitting in the Wind Symphony next year kind of ready for that level of repertoire. You're going to notice a level up in just the sheer amount of stuff that the students are asking me. So I passed it out to them and they fell in love with it. It was too late for me to take it back. It was just, you know, so. Please enjoy Julie Giroux's Empire.